The final ending to the expensive lesson. A story about how a bad partner will ruin your relationships. Part 1 down below. Honestly, she was the sweetest person I have ever met at the beginning. From her upbringing she was a little naive, but me being a codependent, it felt good taking care of her and helping her in life. From start to end, our relationship was only 4 years. Things moved way too fast and we had too many things come up. We never got the chance to really date. She moved in with me immediately because she got kicked out of her house. Hence why she moved in with OM so fast does not surprise me. I know my brain tumor surgery caused a lot of problems for a while. RD was a surprise. I love her so much, but we were not ready for that. It is amazing how stress can rib a person. It is a shame too. As far as my tumor, it went well, I guess. I was down for about 2 months afterwards, but made a full recover for the most part. Occasionally, I will notice something strange, but nothing to be worried about. Unfortunately, she does not have anything against people with tumors. Then again, maybe she does. For a while she tried to say I became a different person after my surgery. That was long before the ORD was even an image of the future though. My old man told me the same thing about her being impulsive and the need for drama in her life. I am guessing that is why she calls me about random crap occasionally. Sunday, 2 days after D was final. Did not hear from her for a while, which was nice. I figured she would call because we were supposed to trade out daughter and she wanted her pictures. She finally called me around 11:30. She was nice to me on the phone and tried to apologize for what happened the day before. I told her I did not want to talk about it. She then asked me what time I wanted to come get our daughter and I said later that evening. She also told me RD had thrown up and was saying her ear hurt. Apparently, her ear was red too, but she just thought her stomach was upset. The evening came and I drove into town and met her where we agreed. The moment she stepped out of the car I could tell she was angry. She asked if I had her pictures and I said yes, but I had some things that I needed to say. She tried to give me the whole "we're divorced, I don't have to listen" speech and then tried to get into my truck, but I locked it. Some of the things I brought up I should not have bothered with, as I was just digging up crap I did not need to think about. The biggest point was that she has treated me like crap for the past 3 months after she was the one who cheated on me and left me, and I was not going to deal with it anymore. We unfortunately must deal with each other for the next 10 plus years easily, if not the rest of our lives, and I was not going to be the doormat, punching bag. We started fighting more and I was finally over it, so I just gave her the pictures back. Even though a part of me does not care about them. A part of me did not want to let all of them go and I had kept a couple of them. I will most likely destroy these ones. They were of her and some lingerie I bought for our wedding. It just does not feel right that another man will see those, even though they are sleeping together. Of course, when she found this out, she was really upset because those were the ones she specifically wanted. She then proceeded to tell me she was happy she divorced me and that I was selfish, calling me names and such, all this right in front of our daughter. I just looked at her and told her this is what you get for being a cheating man, to live with the consequences of your actions. Told her she was lucky I did not destroy them after the BS of calling the sheriff on me. I should have taken the high road, but I didn't. Could not, because I was upset. As I was buckling in my D, I turned around and she was in my face and somewhat shoved me. I was really surprised that I had gotten her that upset over some pictures. She had never slapped me out of anger in the past 4 years. I left and for the rest of the day she did nothing but text me, saying how selfish I was, all sorts of crap. Most of it I did not care because she did the most selfish thing of all. The only part that really hurt was when she threw it in my face that she took care of me when I had my tumor, like I owe her for that or something. I did my best to enjoy the rest of the night with my D. Tomorrow would be the first day I dropped her off at daycare. By the way, I found out about my tumor roughly 6 months after we got married. A month before my daughter's first birthday. I was afraid that I was going to leave them be. I grabbed a video camera and made a video for my wife, daughter as a goodbye and such, in case I did not come out of it. I think I came out better. It is too bad she did not feel the same. After the whole ordeal on Sunday, the rest last week went by well. I was happy that I could spend time with D and did not have to see the ex-wife. It was sad but a great feeling when I went to drop D off and she wanted to go with me every day and would run up to me when it was time to come get her. The ladies at the daycare said she did not do that the previous week at all and threw a fit when it was time to go. Daycare is paid from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Gives me a little time after work if I wanted it. Got a free 3-day pass to a gym I am going to join once I move back into town. Ex-wife called almost every night to speak with D. A few of the nights I could hear her crying, but I did not say anything about it and just kept any conversation we had short. On Tuesday she called me at like 10:30 p.m. and asked if I would trade vehicles so she could use my truck to pick up her stuff from her parents' place. I told her no. Guess she was not listening as she asked me again on Thursday. Told her no, and then I got some snotty text message saying, "That's fine. I will find my own way like I always do." I did not respond or anything. Beyond that, it was just as normal of a week as I could hope for. I dropped D off on Sunday for Mother's Day, said all maybe 5 words to her and left. This past Tuesday I ran into other man at the store. The moment he saw me he just looked at the ground. I have seen them drive by enough that I had a general idea of what he looked like. He was wearing a hat and he is shorter than me, so when I walked by, he was trying to hide his face. After he saw me, he must have texted her because she sent me a text asking, "What is he buying?" I called her and said that was none of her business and said so that is the man who slept with my wife. She got mad I brought that up. I know I should just forget it, but it is still nice to twist the knife a little bit. The notion that what she did was the most selfish act and I did nothing to deserve is somewhat odd lately. Yes, my life, family was torn apart, but in the end, it wasn't my fault. We had problems, but they could have easily been worked out. I find that I am more pissed off and angry with her than sad about what has happened now. I told her that the three of us should just finally meet face to face on Sunday when I go to pick up D for the week. It is going to happen eventually in this small town. Curious what will happen with that. I am not looking forward to it, but I notice I do not have any mind movies or really think about them together nearly as much as I used to. I do have a trigger here and there, but it is getting a lot better. It is a depressing thought, but I have not spoken to daughter this week. I just do not want to hear her voice at all or deal with anything she may try to bring up right now. Not having to see or deal with her almost every other day has been really healing for me, I think. Tried to call last night, but she was already sleeping. Ex-wife tried to talk to me about the sale of the house and I just said I must go. Said bye and hung up. Think I may have found a place and a roommate now. Going to look at it on Monday, hoping it all works out. Had some friends over on Wednesday, drank a little more than I wanted to but had a good time. Played that card game, Cards Against Humanity. I am fairly certain I am going to hell now. Unfortunately, I woke up somewhat sick yesterday, not just from the drinking. I had IC though, which was nice, caught her up on everything. I noticed where the drama level for me is really starting to die down. In about a month when I can finally get a new living situation, I have a feeling things will feel a lot different. Woke up today feeling like absolute crap though. Been keeping myself up on cold medicine to make it through work and will probably just go home and sleep for the next 24 hours. Just realized that ex-wife works the night shift tomorrow. Will probably get a call to see if I can watch D. As much as I want to see her, I am going to say no and let her squirm to find a babysitter, as I know she does not want to ask other man. Does not want to take up his precious time. Plus, I really need to rest and get better before I have my week with D. She is turning into a little science experiment being at daycare. My cute little walking, talking bacteria bucket. I talked about the idea and she understood and thought it would be good. It is going to happen. Best get it over with before I get a lot better mentally and possible have a huge setback. I have no plans of chit-chatting or anything. Basically going to do it when I pick up D 30 seconds or so. But to see each other face to face, cannot really find the words to explain what I am trying to accomplish with this. I do not want anything to do with her anymore, so I could care less if she respects my time or not. I am not a doormat for her anymore and will never be. Maybe she will figure it out one day, maybe not. In the end, not my problem or concern. It is amazing how the WS puts the OM up on a pedestal and thinks so highly of them, and the BS is the doormat after everything. Still do not understand it, to be honest. If she does not have him, she has nothing in her mind. This just makes me sad for my little one. She deserves more and better than that from her own mother. Ex-wife did try to call me twice last night and send me some text about some cleaning supplies. We tried to start a cleaning business on the side for extra cash. Guess she is trying to redo it for extra money. I just ignored the calls. Ended up calling back later though to talk to Dee and tell her goodnight. Apparently, she was already asleep at 8 o'clock. She tried to talk to me about the stuff. Just told her I had to go and would talk to her later about when she could come get her stuff. It is amazing how she tries to ask me how I am doing and when we are getting off the phone to have a good night like I am her friend or something. I do not ask her anything about her or her life. I say very few words to her and I am very short with her on the phone. Ever since she called the sheriffs about the stupid pictures. I find I am just over it and more pissed off than upset about what she has done to me and RD. It is a nice feeling. Trying to fill my life up with other things and making new friends. It is amazing how much more difficult it seems when you are not in school. Sometimes I wish I had a different job. I have met plenty of friends through employment in the past but can afford any pay cut. Getting to the point where I would like to meet a nice lady friend too. Not necessarily for bonding, although would not complain. But I miss the conversations, company you have with a person from the opposite gender. Cannot wait until I can finally be out of this house. Realtor called me and said there is a chance we could walk away with about $1,500 to $2,000 from the sale, which will be kind of nice. I always expected we would owe a little or at least break even. Really hoping this townhouse turns out to be nice on Monday. I have got all the paperwork filled out to jump on it if it does. I am not going to lie, I still have moments of sadness where I do miss us. Had to run to the store this morning as I have a nasty cold or something for some medicine. Stopped by the bakery for a breakfast treat and it kind of triggered some old memories. The music inside the store at the time did not help either. I miss sitting on the couch together on mornings like this when the weather is crappy and we had no plans but to relax and veg. Yes, I have not gotten to the point where I am happy with my own company. Truthfully, I do not think I ever have been, which may be a problem. I have spent plenty of time alone in the past. I just enjoy having other people around. About a month before we got married, I started to have bad headaches. Headaches turned into migraines, and then I started to get dizzy and lose my vision, balance throughout the day. From the date I really started to notice an issue until I had my surgery was about 6 months. If I had not have agreed to an MRI, there is a good chance I would have slipped into a coma. Tumor was located right on my brain stem, fourth ventricle. It was growing so much and displacing the fluid rapidly, which caused the pain and dizziness. Was not attached to anything and was not cancerous, just highly aggressive in growth. Do not remember what it was called. The way everything progressed, never really got on too much medication, mostly just stuff to get rid of the pain. I remember the night before the surgery, laying in the hotel bed with my ex-wife. Couldn't sleep, can't imagine why. She asked me to promise to not leave her. I promised that I never would, go figure. Never got a phone call from her on set asking me to watch. D was really surprised. I was sick and it did nothing but rain all weekend, so I just vagged on the couch all day. So, I met him face to face on Sunday, not sure what to say about it. He tried to act buddy-buddy with me and then tried to shake my hand. Just gave him a look like, "Are you really that stupid?" and he pulled his hand away and just acted snotty towards me. Did not yell or anything, but I told him we are not friends. You slept with my wife and helped tear apart my family. Do not mistake me being civil for my daughter's sake, as we are going to be friends now. He just said he did not want to fight and got in the car. Ex-wife got all upset and was yelling at me. I just kind of laughed it off and did not care. She asked why did I make him come out if I was just going to be a jerk. I told her it was his choice and I figured we might as well meet face to face. We live in a smaller town, was bound to happen. Thought it would be good to just get it out of the way. Did not really make me sad or anything. Got a little flustered, I suppose. Unfortunately, I did think about us a little more over the past day or so after seeing them together. Really do not have any mind movies or anything about them either. Did my best to have a good night with D and to not think or bother myself with any of it. May have found my next place to live. Buddy, who is going to be my roommate, and I went to look at place and going to see another one on Thursday. I have a feeling one of the two is going to become my new home. Seems like the final pieces are starting to fall into place. Yes, I am kind of curious what the hell I am going to do with my life once I get back into town. Nothing that needs to be taken care of from our split anymore. Odd feeling. I have always had a goal in life for my family and something to work towards for all of us. I know there is still my D and I. What the hell do I want? My comment, OP lost his goal in life. It might take some time to figure out the new goal, but figuring out your goal in life is a different journey for everyone. Story 2. I had the bomb dropped on me, but silly me, I knew we would never be one of those couples. My wife and I have been married for 5 years and together for more than twice that. Call me paranoid, but putting the actual time might somehow lead her to find this. A few days ago, I had a dream she was cheating on me, and when I got up that morning I just knew I had to look at her cell phone. Using a common excuse to do so, I noticed that she was very reluctant to let me. Where it had never been a problem in the past. When I got my hands on it, I knew exactly where to look. Texts between her and her friend. I have no 100% proof she cheated, but I have a lot of anecdotal evidence. They are spending time together when I traveled, planning another get-together when I leave again, comments, etc. When I confronted her with this, she told me that she no longer wanted to be with me, that I was boring, a kid because she had to do my laundry and grocery shopping. I do many of the other chores around the house, so this sounded odd. And other minor things. She swears she has done nothing with this other guy, but the stuff I've read really make that implausible. She also says she has called it off with him, and just wants to be alone to focus on her work. I need to be by myself. I don't think I am the type to be married. I know they did start out as friends. My wife likes to help people, and this guy's had a lot of problems. She worked with him. They started training together and recently ran a marathon together. I was not able to train as I was on the road a lot for my job this summer. I know I should have been the jealous type, but I know how much she likes helping people. And I've known people who have liked her before and nothing has come of it. Heck, I have female friends and wouldn't want her suspecting them. Bottom line, I trusted her too much. I hate to lose my marriage. We just had a miscarriage on our first child about 2 months ago. And I have probably been distant since then, but she never once brought up that she was unhappy. That is what hurts the most. This all feels like a midlife crisis. She never told me she was unhappy. I never got the chance to try to do anything to make her happier. I am sure I could have done better, but I was just too focused on my work and other obligations, and she just seemed so happy. She gets mad when I bring up counseling and has absolutely no interest in trying to save the marriage. She acts like she was never happy, and I just cannot believe that. The only few people who know right now are in shock, as everyone thought we were so happy. Wow man, you guys were the last people I'd have ever guessed. I want to work on our marriage, But I cannot do it alone, and I think I may do more harm than good pushing her to want to continue to be with me. She just seems so sure. How do I convince myself to let her go when it is the last thing in the world I really want? If I'm ever lucky enough to find someone like her again, how do I not carry this around and sabotage it with suspicion? Do I want to stop my divorce if she doesn't? Should I fight it and suffer longer, or try to find the path to moving on? Not sure that a book about fixing it would help me right now. I cannot do that alone. I am heading to the doctor in a bit to try to get something that will allow me to function. I've still got to hold down my job, traveling again in 2 weeks. When the info I found says he will be coming up here to my home, she swears she cut it off with him and doesn't know why she let it get that far. He is a recovering drug addict and current alcoholic that she was mentoring. Totally not the type of person the woman I knew would put up with for any significant time. Other than to help, she obsesses about helping people. They got close of the miscarriage and training for this race together. She doesn't want to reconcile, just be alone and concentrate on her career. We focused on hers for a while, and she now make double what I do. I'm finishing my master's in a month and was looking to start catching back up. She's doubled hers in the last 3 years. I make good money, but trying to make it on my own will mean figuring out some significant changes. Don't know what that had to do with anything. Product of a scattered brain, I suppose. I'm sure the dream came from some suspicions I had been internalizing. In an effort to not be the jealous type, I looked past the fact that I knew this guy liked her. Sent her a mixed CD, loss of training together, etc. She just acted strangely the night I had the dream. We had traveled back to our prior town, been gone a few weeks, that day for something I had to do, and she tagged along. She has got friends there, so I didn't think anything of it. But her being strangely cold to me that night made me feel odd. She had been with him that day while I was at class. I am sure her unusual actions that night combined with some subconscious suspicions led to the dream. Definitely trying not to push her. I am working with her at this point, talking through the divorce plans, and am trying to help move things along. It's just hard to focus on this point as I've only had 2 days to process this. She understands where she is at, theoretically, and I'm still trying to make sense of this. She is traveling until Friday, at which point this weekend we'll work though some details. The sickening thing that happened today. She called to chat about what her lawyer told her, and aside from some other bits that were unfortunate, she actually told me that her lawyer said that if we wanted to speed things up, she could file against me for emotional abuse, or something similar, because, as the lawyer put it, I don't know any couple that has emotionally abused one another once or twice. She said it wouldn't be a big deal because it wouldn't show up anywhere on the public documents. That is so far from the truth I didn't know what to say. That she would even bring up going that route to speed things up may have been a bigger dagger to the heart than actually finding out she most likely cheated. After our miscarriage I may have been distant, we both were. But even after all of this I wouldn't do anything to hurt her. That she would act like saying something like that is no big deal is baffling to me. I am trying to not push, not so much because I think it will help if I don't, but because it can only hurt if I do. She isn't the type to come back from a decision easily, especially when her parents now know. If I still know her even a little bit, that will make her committed to the action so as not to look weak. We don't talk about much on the phone except general daily stuff we used to talk about. She is at a conference, so we chat about people we both know, how her presentation went, etc. The exception is when she called yesterday to talk about the lawyer stuff I posted about below. We had a good regular chat yesterday, which almost felt normal. She was questioning why I was working out so much and trying so much harder. I've always been healthy, but these are helping me cope right now. It's weird to say, but the bad part of the convo came at the end. We were in the hanging up phase and she said, "Okay, love you," to which I instantly replied, "Love you too, bye." It all happened so fast that I know it was just the standard response, and that is what made it hurt. The day got a little worse after that as I passed out at the gym and spent 4 hours in the hospital. I have a minor heart condition that hadn't acted up in 3 years. I was actually in a pretty good mood even after that until they asked who my emergency contact was. I had to think about it. Today I visit an attorney. Just hate how fast this is moving. I feel like there is more acting than thinking going on. Days later, had a great chat with my best friend yesterday. She and her husband live overseas now and are coming back to the States soon. They've been friends of us both for a long time, but the connection is through me. So I felt safe calling. What shocked me, she said she and her husband had talked before about how my W seemed like the type that was always looking for something better. Career, clothes, men. They thought that if she ever got really successful, she'd leave me, and they were apparently right. I wonder how I missed that. It never once crossed my mind. I am doing pretty good these last 24 hours. Working out a lot, being proactive in stuff I need to do. I'm typically a bit of a procrastinator. And setting up the guest bedroom so I can sleep there for the next few weeks. We just moved here a few weeks ago, which begs the question, Why'd she let me move here if she were unhappy? Didn't text her this morning and am trying to start learning to go through life without her. This will be a horrible ride. I have a friend in a very similar situation, but with kids, who is about 6 months ahead of me in the process and is still pretty torn up. Not looking forward to the next year. She comes home from her work trip today. This weekend won't be fun. I think I've been holding out hope that she would have second thoughts. This morning when she didn't text or call, she did eventually. I found myself feeling upset. I must have been holding out hope. Anyone else notice it is worse in the morning? I feel almost manic in the afternoon, evening, being active, positive attitude, etc. But in the mornings I am crushed all over again. She is in the room next door getting ready for bed. This will be the first night in 12 years that we are both home and not sharing a bed. I was doing so much better when she wasn't here. Blah. Still don't understand where the woman I married went. This girl looks like her, jokes like her. It's almost normal for a while before it gets awkward, but is clearly not my wife. How is anyone totally cool with throwing away 12 years of their life without even trying to work things out? I know I should focus on myself. I know, just hard to do while trying to pretend that this isn't ripping me up inside. Last night she seemed pretty concerned with where I was moving. She jumped to the conclusion that I would be staying in town. Again, we just moved here. So why would I do that? I haven't told her where I am going. It is one of the few things I have successfully kept from her. I talked to my mom about the 180 and she was on board with working on yourself but cautioned about making it seem like I've moved on so quick. She thought that might convey the message that I never cared for my wife that much and might make things worse for a while. So last night we had a long heart-to-heart on how we got here and where we are going. She reiterated the fact that she was not interested in working things out but beat herself up pretty badly about some stuff. Somehow, I ended up feeling horrible again and consoling her. I felt much calmer about the situation when I went to bed. Just having actually talked with her for a long time helped me, I think. Today started off similar with a chat, and then devolved when she left for a bit and handed me back the iPad so I could set it up for me. We have two. She left her email logged in surprise. She is still communicating with the OM. I shouldn't be shocked, and I'm not really. I am just hurt that she continues to lie to me. What is the point in lying at this point? All it does is slow down, reverse some of my healing when I find out yet another disturbing truth. I hate that I cannot trust this person. This was the only person I have trusted for 12 years now. I don't know what to do. I don't have the support network she does, and I'm the one wronged. She just left for work at 6:45 in the morning. Not that I am not more comfortable with her gone, but I know she is going to go chat. Text with the OM. I cannot wait until that realization doesn't make me literally sick to my stomach. Anyone reading will love this. She texted me this morning and said that I could return the CD that were in the car. The CD that the OM made for her. I only found one. I must have missed the others since she referred to them as plural. Seriously, your husband discovers you, at the very least, are having a deep emotional affair with another man, and you expect him to keep around the CD your boyfriend gave you? What is going through this person's head? I told her I am sorry, but I threw the CD out. Probably should have left out the I'm sorry bit. I am certain that is a normal response from anyone, man or woman, in that situation. If her goal is to make me want to move out quicker, it is effective. Being around her is hard. The 180 is working okay, but I am having trouble finding additional areas to work on that aren't already in progress, and I have too much time on my hands. A month later, I will be moving out and a few states away for a new job soon. Now I am the type of guy who loves a lot of space and would really like a garage since I live in the north, but I'm a southern boy who will probably never truly get used to snow. I do not want the upkeep of a house right now, so I had been thinking a smaller place. Bringing this up with friends, especially female, gets me responses of what the hell. Are you 60 now? Do you ever want to date again? They all want me to get a hip downtown apartment. They say girls in my age bracket, say 26 to 30, will think this is cool. I'll meet more people and the extra socialization will help me move on. This is probably all true, but I worry about noisy neighbors and bad parking. My comment, although second OP sounded needy. But he moved after from his toxic relationship within a month. He is doing all right. How long it took you to go away? Comment down and prepare for the next one.